looking after yourself and your loved ones in grad school. While graduate school is often one of the most academically and professionally rewarding endeavors one can take, it comes with its own set of challenges. Between moving to a new place, meeting demanding academic standards, and taking care of your personal health and well-being, balancing life in graduate school can be a difficult task. Looking after yourself and your loved ones requires managing this balancing act and identifying and developing networks of support. Good news: if you are a graduate, law, consecutive education student, or an undergraduate medicine student, you already have a student organization that represents and advocates for you on all levels of university administration and lobbies the federal, provincial, municipal governments on issues crucial to the well-being and success of graduate and professional students, the SGPS. Within the SGPS, the Equity and Diversity Commissioner advocates for and is responsible for organizing events related to issues of equity, diversity, and inclusion. In addition to the SGPS, this presentation identifies a number of on-campus resources that are available to you. There are numerous offices, groups, and spaces on campus that will help you take care of yourself and your loved ones. The first of these set of resources refers to equity issues. So one of the first resources that you have available is the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center. The Four Directions Indigenous Student Center strives to be a home away from home for Indigenous students and a site of information and support for the broader Queens community. 4D, as it's affectionately called, offers academic tutoring and advising, cultural programming, Indigenous-focused library, and a range of workshops designed to support students academically, socially, and culturally. Another important equity resource is the Human Rights and Equity Office, which strives to advance a culture of human rights, equity, and inclusion by inspiring and educating community stakeholders through developing and implementing innovative strategies in employment and educational equity, providing information, advice, and assistance to individuals or groups at Queens regarding protections available under policies and legislation, providing non-judgmental sexual violence prevention and response support, and improving access for everyone on campus by removing barriers, encouraging accessibility, and promoting the duty to accommodate. Services under this office include the Human Rights Advisory Services, Equity Services, Sexual Violence Prevention and Response, and the Accessibility Hub. In addition, there are a number of equity spaces and offices that you can utilize on campus. The Yellow House Club space, located at 140 Stewart Street, provides dedicated space for some of Queen's undergraduate and graduate student clubs working to advance social justice, anti-racism, diversity, and inclusion on campus. The Deputy Provost, Academic Operations and Inclusion, oversees Queen's equity, diversity, and inclusion initiatives. The Inclusion and Anti-Racism Advisor, Lavi Williams, is a central point of contact for individuals and units who wish to learn about anti-oppression and anti-racism initiatives and services at Queen's. The Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity in the Classroom Office supports educators in designing, planning, and reviewing their courses and academic programs through an equity and inclusivity lens. The University Council on Anti-Racism and Equity coordinates, monitors, and reports on the progress of university-wide initiatives to address racism and promote equity, diversity, and inclusion. Queen's Coalition Against Racial and Ethnic Discrimination is a group of students, staff, and faculty that works to eliminate racism and discrimination on campus. And finally, Queen's Women's Network Mentorship Program is a mentorship program run through the Queen's Women's Network, an employee resource group open to Queen's affiliates who self-identify as women, including graduate students. Turning now to resources for accessibility issues, the main resource is the Accessibility Hub, which is a central online resource for accessibility at Queen's. It serves to elevate inclusion and improve access for everyone on our campus. The Accessibility Hub not only provides support and feedback concerning accessibility initiatives, but also serves as an online community for those seeking information on disability and accessibility issues on campus, and assists the university in meeting its obligation under the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act. There are also numerous LGBTQ plus resources on campus. The Sexual Health Resource Center is a confidential, non-judgmental, feminist, queer-positive, pro-choice, sex-positive, and non-heterosexist information and referral service. It sells different sexual health and pleasure products and serves as a confidential resource for those in need of immediate support. EQUIP, the Education on Queer Issues project, seeks to create a safer environment for individuals at Queens and in Kingston of all sexualities and gender identities. It strives to create a fun, welcoming, and educational community for queer and queer-positive individuals while advocating for human rights and raising awareness about queer-related issues. Everybody is welcome. You do not have to be a Queen's student or even a student at all to be involved. The Livana Gender Advocacy Center is a student-funded Queen's University organization committed to creating and nurturing a radical community of Kingston students and residents. Devoted to fighting gender oppression and advocating for broad ideas of gender empowerment for those of any or no gender, Livana operates on an anti-oppressive practices, open to all residents of Kingston, and offers a lending library free of charge. Queen's Pride Project exists to celebrate the history, courage, diversity, and future of Queens and Kingston's LGBTQ plus communities. Queen's Pride offers programming throughout the year with concentrated programming during Pride Month. And finally, Enja Queers, celebrating LGBTQ plus students in engineering and their allies. Additional resources also exist specifically for international students. Primarily, Queen's University International Center, QUIC, supports incoming students from around the world, including assisting with Canadian permits and visas, health insurance, finding housing and work, and cultural orientation. It hosts orientation activities for international students, graduate and undergraduate, in September and January, including a Learning to Love winter session, which comes in really handy. The Office of the Associate Vice Principal International. The international portfolio oversees the Queen's University Comprehensive International Plan and supports strategic international relationships, institutional coordination, communication, and collaboration among partners, faculties, schools, and units to assist students, faculty members, and staff across campus involved in international learning, research, and planning. There are also numerous student associations under the Queen's Alma Mater Society that you can utilize to take care of yourself and your loved ones. These include, but are certainly not limited to, the African Caribbean Students Association, the Armenian Student Association of Queens, the Association of Indian Graduate Students at Queens, Best Buddies Irish Club Japanese Relations at Queens, the Philippine Cultural Association, Queens Hong Kong Students Association, Queens Korean Students Association, Queens Native Students Association, Queens Muslim Students Association, Queens Black Academic Society, Solidarity for Palestinian Human Rights, Tamil Students Association, and Vietnamese Students Association. There are also places to access support on campus. Some important ones include the Banri Center, which is an inclusive community that serves undergraduate, graduate, professional, domestic, immigrant, and international women students. It provides student advisors, napping rooms, workspaces, free lunch, and financial assistance for mature women students. The director is Dr. Suzanne Bellier. Another resource is the AMS Food Bank. It's located in the JDUC. The AMS Food Bank serves confidential and non-judgmental food service to members of Queens community, a nonprofit organization which aims to provide students with food services in the most comfortable environment possible. The food bank provides a reliable and confidential service to ensure that Queens students can be healthy and productive as they pursue academic achievements. It seeks to address the underlying causes of poverty so as to alleviate and ultimately eliminate poverty amongst Queens community members. The center also works closely with other relevant organizations in the Queens and Kingston community. Often, the support you need will be more than material. Here are some resources that you can utilize to this end. The Student Wellness Service works to provide a welcoming, confidential, and integrated service that is responsive to student health, wellness, and accessibility needs. It provides crucial wellness services, including accessibility services, counseling, health promotion, health services, mental health support, as well as various other resources to support student wellness. It is located at Mitchell Hall, 69 Union Street. The Graduate Peer Support Center. The SGPS Peer Support Center is a group of student volunteers who provide a confidential and welcoming peer-based support to graduate and professional students at Queen's University. The center adheres to a peer support model. The philosophy behind this model is that for some individuals and for some areas of individual concern, the assistance provided by a peer will be the most effective form of support. The peer volunteers are trained in active listening, suicide intervention, and are well versed in resource referral to suit the diverse needs of graduate and professional students. And finally, the Faith and Spiritual Center. Queen's University Faith and Spiritual Life Office provides confidential counseling, ceremonial services, interfaith community development, and spiritual support to students, faculty, and staff on campus. As part of the Division of Student Affairs, the Office of the Interfaith Chaplain strives to facilitate a welcoming, peaceful, and safe space. The chaplains are available to discuss spiritual, religious, personal, and financial problems, concerns, or crises. It is interfaith and LGBTQ+ friendly. In addition to the aforementioned on-campus resources, there are also numerous off-campus resources for looking after yourself and your loved ones in the city of Kingston. Among the numerous resources available in the City of Kingston at large are the Ontario Public Interest Research Group, or OPIRG, which is dedicated to research, education, and action in the public interest, predominantly student-funded and student-run, but strives to maintain a balance of support and direction from the wider Kingston community. OPIRG Kingston exists to serve as a training ground for concerned citizens to recognize and engage the problems of society. Sexual Assault Center Kingston provides support services and programs to women and all trans and gender non-conforming individuals, 14 years of age or older, who have experienced recent and or historical sexual violence in Kingston, Frontenac, Lennox, and Addington. AKA Autonomous Social Center is an anti-state, anti-capitalist, anti-colonial, and anti-oppression network of support and mutual aid. It organizes various events, including open hours with access to the extensive library, speakers, and events hosted by community groups. Accessible, queer positive, progressive space that welcomes all. In conclusion, taking care of yourself and your loved ones in graduate school is not easy, but you don't have to do it alone. There are numerous resources and countless people that will help you navigate this journey. If you have any questions or concerns, or you'd like more information, please do not hesitate to contact me, Fifi, the Equity and Diversity Commissioner, at equity@sgps.ca.